This habitat is an important stopover place for all these insects on their way from one forest preserve or another. They can stop here and they can get pollen and nectar, they can eat the leaves, and they don't need a big space. I have no idea how many individual insects are in this little yard, but it's got to be thousands. And insects, just also as a reminder, the vast majority of insects don't sting us and they don't bite us and they
unless
don't
they're
irritate
bothered.
So the vast majority of insects we don't even know are out there. They're not all mosquitoes.
Exactly.
So,
Interesting. Are there any specific kinds of plants or a certain kind of flower that is a native habitat that would be easy to grow on my patio or on my balcony, like in a pot? Is there anything?
Most of the ones you see here would be super easy. This is called bee balm or monarda.
Balm.
It's pretty tall, so it might not do well on a balcony, but if you had just a small patch of yard, look at all the bees buzzing around.
I can
love
see
it.
that.
And it has a minty smell. If you pull one of the leaves, it's in the mint family.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And it's called bee balm?
Balm. Yep.
Bee balm. Who knew?
Another one that I think is just super cheerful is the black-eyed Susans here.
Yeah.
They're starting to fade, but you can still see their bright, cheerful yellow.
What plant is this again?
This is called Short's aster. So
Short's
asters are
aster.
like daisies, and it'll put out a blue flower about that big around in the fall.
Interesting. So this here is milkweed.
It's one of our species of milkweeds. It's called butterfly weed, and I say that this is the plant that will make you realize that you liked the color orange.
Uh-huh.
And the butterflies, the monarch butterflies, use this just like they use the common milkweed.
So how many species of milkweed are there? Who would have known?
Yeah, I don't have the exact number off the top of my head, but I think we have about 6 or so species in the Chicago region.
Of milkweed.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. So monarchs are attracted to this.
Yeah, their caterpillars can only eat milkweed leaves, so it's called their host plant. It's the plant that the caterpillars need to live on, and then they will form their chrysalis on here, and the butterflies will emerge a couple weeks after that.
Tell me about how do you landscape or how do you care for an individual plant if it's getting too large and you want to contain it in your garden or on your patio?
Yeah, here's a neat little trick. If you, in the early summer, this plant will bloom in the fall, and I went back in June and I clipped it here. And I did that all throughout here, and what happens is it then branches out from that point and it will bloom a little bit bushier and shorter. If I hadn't done that, it would be about this tall and it would flop over my path, and so that's just a way that you can help manage a little bit.
Let me ask you this. What is it that people like myself can do as a homeowner or an apartment dweller in their patio, in their backyard, on their balcony to create a habitat? Are there some things that an individual can do?
Absolutely, and it doesn't have to be huge. The nice thing about insects is that they're tiny and they fly around. So if you have a tiny little patch on your balcony or in your yard, they'll find it and they will absolutely use it, and it can be so much fun. So this is one of the few conservation stories that really feels like just a win-win.